Okay, let's go and let's see how to make a sort of notepad. It doesn't have all the features of the notepad. We just can read the files, but it's an interesting video, I think, because we are going to take a look at the Kinter and at the text widget that we um, not always treated, and so we want to see how to position our widgets and how to make some nice stuff. Another new stuff that we haven't made before is to toggle the full screen with Kinter, and let's see how. This is the code that we are going to do, and this is the result of the that we will obtain. You see that we have a list of files here that are automatically taken from the files that are in the folders where our program is. And so let's see, for example, these are all Python file. They could be also text. If you click on them, you will see them on the right, as you can see. And there is another nice feature, is that if you press F11, you can have a full screen size. If you press again F11, you go back to the normal size. Let's see how to do that. Okay, now the first thing that we are going to do is to import, of course, tkinter, and let's call this file tutorial. And so we wanted to import, as usual, tkinter as we do SDK. So this is the module to create an interface with the user that is graphical. So it's a graphic user interface, and instead of using the command line that we can do it, but we can also do something interesting with this, and we import glob from glob import glob. That is that we need to check in the directory what files are there. So we are going to create a class called, by the way, notepad, and then we are going to use a boolean variable here that we are going to call full screen, because we want to toggle full screen. And let me put it here, and then we're gonna to init with the underneath method, that is the one that starts when you call a instantiate class. We're gonna create a self root equal root. Well, what is this root? And it comes from here, and it comes when you instantiate the class, because we want to create a window. So we are going to create, first of all, root equal tk.tk. This line here creates a window, and this is the top window, the top level object, in which we will insert the widgets like button and labels and entry and text, etc. And then you know that we have to do root.main loop at the end, and but the widgets, we will not put them here, we want to put them inside here. So we want to create a, what can we call it, an app, a notepad, what you want to call it. So we're going to call it app that will instantiate a notepad to which we pass our window, right? So when we go here, when we instantiate this, it will start by this getting the window into this variable. So we will have that app.root, it's the window. Okay, and then let's give some geometry to our window. This is the starting dimension 600 for 400. This is the weird view made in a way to make the dimension in Kinter. And then let's give it a title. my notepad. Okay, let's see what happens. There it is, a window of 600 for 400 with the title notepad. That's all we did until now. Now we want to give some color to the roof, to the window, and let's say that the background color, that is this BG key here, it is a dictionary here we are using, will be like coral. It's a nice color, isn't it? And you don't see it, but you will see it. Let's now make a frame. What is a frame? It's a container of other objects inside the main at the top level widget, that is root. It is useful to put things in order, to put some widgets in a frame, some other widgets in another frame, so that they look more nicely, they fit nicely in a polite, neat way in the window. So let's make it. And this belongs to the root, as you can see. Let's then give some color to this too. And let's pack it to make it visible. And to make it visible, we use pack. Okay. But we forget frame. There it is. Now it occupies all the window. Now we want to show the files that we have in the directory. If you look in the directory, you get these files. To get the files of the directory, use glob. We put an asterisk, that means any name of any file that is in the block. But as we may want just the py file, we want every file. Well, for now we want just the py file, but we don't have any other files different from this, so the result is the same. But if there were other files, we would have just the Python file. So for file in block, what we are going to do is to show a button. We could have also make something different. We could have put them into a list, and maybe it was a better idea to put them into a list box, and then insert, so we can make something different from what the code in the post is. tk.end and file. So if you think it's a better idea, let's make this list box like this with tk.listbox, but the code will change a little bit. And self.frame1 and nothing else for now, and then self.lb.pack as usual. Let's see what happens. There it is. We got a list this time instead of buttons. So what do you prefer, buttons or list? Buttons are nice aesthetically, but if there are a lot of files, there could be some problems. Let's leave this this way for now. So now we have to make something. We want to put the text in which will appear the content of the file that we select. So let's call self.text equal tk.text, and self lets this will belong to the root, and what we want to do is to self.text.pack into we want to make it to fill the entire screen, so we will self tk.both, I think it is, and so that it covers both the width and height of the screen. And we will also need expand equal 1, so that we follow the screen while it expands, as we are going to do the toggle full screen thing. So now we want to make this toggle thing. So we wanna go and self.root.bind. We wanna make the action of the click of the button F11, so that when we click this, we are going to make an action that make the window go spread to the full screen, or instead it will return to its initial dimensions, size. And so so when you press F11, you will go to this function self because it's a method inside of this class. It's another side of this class, toggle full screen. And now we're gonna do it. Def toggle full screen. When you get a method inside the class, you gotta always put self here, at least, if there are no other arguments. And then yes, you're gonna do if notepad full screen. What is this notepad full screen? Notepad full screen is this variable here, or attribute of the class notepad that I put here. As I put this one here outside of the before the definite, this belongs to the class notepad, not to the instance of the class. Okay, so app is an instance, and all the self that you get here means that after you instantiated the app with this name using this class, when you want to have, for example, the title of the window, you can write app.title. Instead, when you will want to have this attribute here, this belongs to notepad, not to app. And so you have to write notepad because belongs to notepad full screen. So this one is this variable here that at the beginning is 1. So if it is 1, so it's in the normal position, it's not in full screen because it's 1, because it's initial state, right? It could be, I could have, this is my choice to give it 1. I could give 0 and do the opposite, but let's leave it this way. So if it's 1, we are going to self.root.attributes. We're going to change the attributes of the window, and one of the attributes is full screen. So full screen at the beginning it's false. So when we press F11 at the beginning, the root is not full screen, and we want to be in full screen when we press the F11, right? It will be clear when we will do it. So then this boolean value that I just have to toggle the full screen will go to 0. So it's 1, it spreads the window to full screen, and the checkbox, the boolean value of full screen goes to 0, so that the next time when it's full screen, this variable is to 0. And so if you press again, it will come back to this function, check if the notepad full screen is equal 1. No, it's equal 0, so it will go to this other line that will go like this: self root attributes. The full screen attributes will go to will become false, so it will return to the initial dimension, so it will be smaller, and the notepad dot full screen will be equal 1 again. Let's check it out. So this is the window. Let me put it to 0. Okay, doesn't seem to work for some reason, and perhaps here we forgot to put this one. Yeah, you see that now it goes full screen. If you don't like this, if it's not intuitive to have full screen equal 1 at the beginning, maybe it should be 0 because it's not full screen at the beginning. So if notepad full screen goes like this, so if it is full screen and goes like this, else it goes let me see what happens now. Seems to work, but if I press F11 once, it happens nothing. If I press twice, it goes full screen. Okay, it works, but you gotta press twice because at the beginning it is 0. So okay, now it works almost, because so this must go to 1 here and to 0 here. If okay, now it works. So we have a little more intuitive thing. So when the notepad is to 0, it means that it is not in full screen. So, and if it's not in full screen, it will go through the attribute full screen. So it will go in, it will spread the window, and so we must then change the notepad to 1 to say, to mean, hey, I am in full screen. So the next time that I trigger the F11 button, it will be here and it will say if not notepad, so if it is 0 practically, or we can, if you don't like this not, we can also use 0. If it is 0, go full screen, but the second times it is 1, so it is not in full screen. It is in full screen, so it is 1, and so it will go here and will pass from full screen to normal size, and the state will be to 0 or false if you prefer. Okay, now maybe you can also call the false if you prefer. So maybe this, in this way, it is more intuitive. So at the beginning full screen is false, so if notepad full screen is false at the beginning, it will become true, and then the variable will be set to true to make understand that we are in full screen. So the next time you trigger the F11 button key of the keyboard, it will go here, and as it is true, it will jump to this and will put it to false, and will return to the normal size. Let me check again if it's right. Okay, now what we want to do is to move this to the left of the screen. So we are going to pack this and go side equal left to the frame in which we inserted that list box. So we have it here. Now what do we want to do? We could spread this to the whole. Yeah. So we could just copy and paste what we did for the frame. We didn't do it. We do it for the text here. Let me just copy and paste the spread thing here into the list box back and see if it works. It doesn't work. So now it seems to work. Okay, we expanded the frame too. Let me see what happens if I don't expand the list box. Yeah. Let's just because we need that for the when we expand this. You see, you got this. It's maybe it's better to have it this way. Well, what we can do, Well, let's leave it this way for now. Okay, what we need to do now, the last thing, is that when we select or double select, we wanna see what's inside the text. So let's do this. So we are going to bind this action to the double select, and so self dot listbox lb bind double button, I think, will be lambda self dot show text, yes, and what show text of, yeah, and we must pass something to this. We must pass what we selected. So lb selection, maybe. Well, for now, let's leave it this way. And we want to self dot text dot insert. Yeah, we're gonna insert tk dot end, let's say lb dot cur selection, I think, if I remember well, selection or selected, something like that. We forget the self. Okay, now we got 0, 1, okay, and so I think lb get lb current selection, I think. No, lb is not defined. Again, self, let me to make it a little more readable. Okay, yeah, okay, now we want to see the content of this, not the name of the file. So we want to do here with open selection this file in read mode as file, self-insert tkinter, etc, etc. Sorry, with open to get the file, we do this. Then we first get the number here of the selected thing, num item, let me call it this way, it's a current selection, the num item. So then we call the file name, we will get it from lb.get num item. This will return as the file name. This is the index of item selected. This is the file name selected. Okay, then with open fname as file, we will insert at the end of the text just the fname, right? So we have made it more simple. But before, we wanna delete the content, because if we press twice the button, it will put two different files. Instead, now it will delete what is there before, and right, and will be so just one file in the text. And let's clear from the start to the end. Let's see if it works. Now we got this one, and it just shows the name because we forget to do something, of course. We're gonna insert, before we insert here, we're gonna make file equal file dot read, and here we're gonna put file. There it is. Okay, we gotta see if we can do this thing here, and gonna make it not so big. I think maybe if we don't expand this, fill tk y and expand 1. Okay, I get it. No, it's still this strange. What? I'm gonna understand how to do that. Maybe I don't think so. if I go to the no, it didn't work. Okay, I'm gonna solve this in a later, and for now that is all for our little program here. And if we check this other code here with the buttons, you see that if I go and press F11, this stays on the left in a different way, so there is not this problem. And you see here we expanded this thing. We didn't expand the frame, so this could be a solution. If you go in on the blog, you will find both the code. So let's try to not expand this. Neither this. I just wanna leave the left side here. Okay, now it's kinda work. It would be nice to expand just the list box, but if I do that, maybe no, it doesn't work. Oh, finally it worked. Okay, so now we have this, and we solve with this thing here, and that's all. We just put this here, fill the Y, so the height here, and we filled both with this. I don't know if I put here the Y, what happens. Okay, it's still good. So you will find the code on the on my blog, on my post, and you see I got these two different versions, this one and this one with the buttons, and choose which one you prefer. This is nice because there are buttons, and but this is, if there are many files, this is better because you will have here, you can scroll them without any problem. And so choose what is the best for you. Thank you.